Hey everyone, hope you all had a great weekend. Thanks for joining me on December 5th, and as always, we are not financial advisors, and everything you see in here is for educational purposes only. Alright, let's get started with Bitcoin and the dollar. When we look at the dollar, we did drop a little bit yesterday, but it's pushing back up now, and as you can see, Bitcoin is actually pushing back down. Yeah, we've been following the dollar because we do have a gap here, and these gaps always get filled. So we know, just like up here, right? We dropped, and then we dropped again, and we went up, and we dropped, but then came back up, went back up, finally hit that area where there was a gap. And when I mean a gap, I mean where these corners don't match up pretty closely, in a sense. Kind of like here, it doesn't actually match up here, so we could even go all the way up here to 106. So we could actually even go all the way up here. Let me take this out. Because the corners have to be somewhat close to each other. So like if you look at the corners here, they're pretty close. The corners here are pretty close. These corners are pretty close. These corners are close. These corners are close. See how there's a big gap between these corners? That's when they have to be filled again. And you can see this corner here and this corner here has a big gap. So I mentioned, look, like technically I could see it go back up to around 105.82 or 106.76. And this will give Bitcoin the chance to drop back down, because this would signal to go up. And when I look at Bitcoin, it's actually dropping back down a little too much for my liking. When I look at it to see where it's on the channel, it is writing the channel now. If it gets below this, it might dump all the way back down. And if we drop below this trend line, it's definitely going to drop down. Now, I was actually wrong, because I actually thought we would drop back down here. I thought we would see something like this, and then drop back down, and then come like this, and then drop back down a little bit further. But that doesn't seem to be the case. It's actually going sideways. And one of the reasons I thought it would drop back down, because we were on a strong reversal fib, and right here we had, or this one right here, we printed the red half moon. And this is like the only moon I like to follow, because it's been the most consistent. If we print another green candle at this point, that moon is, again, it's consistent, it's not perfect, so this will probably be the one time it doesn't play out. That means the next 2 times I have a really high chance of playing out, so that's something good to note. But right now, it's just kind of going sideways. Maybe this thing will dump back down, or maybe we'll pump and we'll actually go to the 199 target that we have, the second arrow target, which I thought we were going to do in the beginning, but then I looked at it and I was like, you know what, this is making like a smaller pattern of the previous, and even up here, it did a smaller version of the pattern. So I figured, you know what, it's probably going to do a smaller version of the pattern, and it should drop back down sooner. Even though it pumped a little bit, it's still not like taking off, because it's still within this range, right? It's still within this little range. Sometimes they have a little bit of pump, like, oops. Sometimes they go a little bit above, a little bit below, and stuff like that. But like, it's still in this range. Like, it's dropping back down into the range of like its support. If this comes back down and turns into a red candle, then we're most likely to drop tomorrow. We're not on any reversal fib yet, so we can still push back up. It is on the bottom, so this could actually push back up now. But it's still early. Again, the only thing that gives me a clue that it should come back up, Bitcoin should drop, is the fact that we have to come back up to this area. So we had this that told me, hey, we need to drop. We have, we're at the top of the trend line. When we were here, we got rejected. We went back up. We actually broke up, but we were at the trend line, and we had the red moon. So there's a bunch of things that were telling me like, hey, technically it should drop. Fortunately, we didn't. Still pushing back up. If for any reason we do go back to 18,000, that's technically better for my group, because there's a few people that want to get out before it does drop back down. If we do go all the way up to 18, though, we'll probably drop back down to this bottom trend line here. We might, which is about 16,200, which is something I mentioned the other day when we were here. Like, well, you know what, we could drop down first to this trend line here, which is about 16,100, 16,200, and then drop to this, because this is pushing up a little bit more and building some support. This is going to be a lot of like really strong support at 15,200 or 15,100. So this looks like, this could be the next place it could drop back down to. I don't know about 14, it's still there, but it will have really good resistance here. And when I look at the alts, some of them are not in any reversal fib. Some of them are. H bar is not on anything. Algo is pretty close to, well, no, it's a little bit far. I don't want to count that. When I look at Shiba, Shiba's not on anything either, but you know, whenever it spikes and it drops down more than like half of its candle, it drops back down. We were talking about, you know, how if we, you know, it kind of looks similar to this area and there's supposed to be a big pump. I mentioned how, well, if that's going to follow that, because a member brought it up. I was like, well, if that's going to follow it, technically we would need like one big ugly drop. So we would maybe go sideways, have one big ugly drop for it to be following this kind of pattern. And then it would take us all the way up to like 0.0030 zeros and a 1. That's still a little early, so we'll see about that. Atlas did hit the strong reversal fit a couple days ago, and I mentioned, you know what, if it closes here, we'll drop down. It's slowly dropping, nothing too crazy. Matic's already retracing. Matic's not on any reversal fib yet. Neither is IoTech is though. I'm losing my voice. If IoTech doesn't get above 0.02418, it's gonna drop back down. And even then, if it does, it still has a strong reversal fib at 0.0248. Atom, and keep in mind, you know, a couple days ago when we were down here, on a lot of these coins, we knew they were on like a 50-50 reversal fib, so we knew it was gonna drop, push back up. So hopefully no one's surprised that we pushed back up a little bit. You know, I figured the odds, you know, since everybody was on that, obviously I would have wanted a stronger reversal fib, but even the weak ones are good. And the reason I bring this up is because we're doing the same thing. A lot of these are going to be on weak reversal fib. So, like, for example, Atom, weak reversal fib at 1057. When we look at Near, strong reversal fib at 177. So these numbers that I'm giving out, if these coins don't get above that, there's a really good chance that we drop back down tomorrow. Now here's one little clue. We knew Phantom had to do landed on a white fib at 0.2620. So we knew Phantom had to do a temporary reversal and then head back up above it. So I could see Phantom still push back up to close that out. But if the market's super bearish, then obviously it won't. But AVAX, strong reversal fib at 14.33. And you can see the candle's almost already turning red. Ethereum, weak reversal fib at 1306. It would have to get above 1320 for it to be bullish again. Let's see. Data, strong reversal fib at 0.91 or 911. Let's see. So if we can't get above that, again, it'll drop back down. And it's had two really weak candles. And the market has been weak overall. Like, it feels like, oh, Bitcoin pumped, is pushing up, but the alts haven't moved at all. And that's kind of like always a red flag. You know, there are times that some people say, well, you know, Bitcoin pumps first, and then a couple days later, then the alt pumps. So we'll see if that's kind of true. But at the moment, you know, even ZIL, strong reversal fib at 0.02350. Doge is a little bit off. It retraced way too much though. Like when it retraces like this, I don't know. But it also retraced like that, but it had a big pump afterward. Because usually when this happens, they technically drop. Even over here, when this happened, it pumped. But again, it has Elon. This is why I've always said, if you had to pick between Doge and Shiba, I would say Doge, because you'll always have Shiba to pump it. You know, with Shiba, you have influencers trying to pump it, right? All the people who got stuck into it that are still trying to pump it back up. But I don't like how weak this candle is showing. Sol, strong reversal fib at 14.18. So we can't get above that. It drops back down tomorrow. Dot, strong reversal fib at 5.73. So we can't get above that. Drops back down tomorrow. This is an interesting one. So Litecoin had a really nice pump today. It landed on a weak, a white reversal fib. So if it closes, so if Litecoin closes below 84.88, it means it's a temporary reversal and then it needs to head back up. But it does hit a reversal. So if you look at all these coins, there's a lot of coins telling us that we need to drop back down tomorrow if we can't get above these fib lines. So it's tricky because I'd have to wait till the end of the day to see where we close. Because if we close on these, then it's like, okay, cool, I feel confident that we're still going to drop back down. I know there's a few people that are confident that, you know, are saying crazy low numbers or crazy high numbers. You know, there's like a mixed bag out there right now. And usually everybody's like, oh, we're going up. So I'll feel more confident about going down. Or everybody's like, oh, we're going up. So then I feel confident that we're not going to go up. You know, when everyone's so bullish on, everyone agrees on one way. Again, we are on this on the channel. This is, you know, these are the places where it could bounce back up. You know, it holds here, held here, held here, held here. So long as we hold here, like this could still hold. Maybe do something where it goes like this, and it goes up like this, and it comes up, and it comes down, and it goes up. Or we can, but if we start doing something like this, but not strong, then it dumps back down. Then Bitcoin will be in a spot where, like, you know, it's most likely going to come back down because all the alts are kind of hinting that it's going to drop back down. And, you know, it has been the weekend. There wasn't a lot of volume. One thing I mentioned was, look how we just went sideways for the last 4 days, even 5 days. Like, this could have been just the group trying to pump it, and it didn't work out, so they got out, and now the coin's back, you know, to its normal price. So, you know, maybe these are just bots going sideways, kind of like right here, right? It's going sideways. But I did mention, hey, you know what? It's gone sideways for a while, so it's due for a breakout. And we thought we were gonna have it, but the fact that it's dropping back down is not a good sign. But the day's still early, still young. And then we have what, like 10, 11, 12 hours to go before the next daily candle prints. We'll say like 10 hours. So a lot can happen until then. So I want to see where we close this, and then I'll give everybody an update on where we're at. All right, and if anybody, I'm gonna do just quick little like ad. If anybody's interested in finding out more, if you go to tindicator.com, there's a link on the description. This gives you the kind of like little breakdown about, you know, of our Discord, what's in there, how you can join. There's a little trading course that I do offer. I think this is already expired, right? I think it did. Yep, already expired. You know, a little bit of feedback, and a link to the YouTube channel, which obviously you're watching the YouTube. But again, let's have the link to my paid Discord in case you want to get more updates. You know, $10 a month, I can, you know, you'll have access to all my daily videos. I post Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday and Sunday. You know, if the market goes kind of crazy. For $30 a month, you get the peace of mind membership level, which, you know, gives you the the YouTube updates. You get the Discord access, so you get all the information that we're posting. You also get the Signal alerts. So we use the Signal app separately, you know, so that way, in case something crazy is happening, I'll send that message out, so that way everybody gets it. And then we do have an edge tier where you do get an edge on your coins, because you can actually request charts, so you can see where your coin is at. You know, whether if it's already at the peak. You know, let's say you found a certain coin and it's already at the peak. You don't want to get in, right? And I can kind of go in there, use our numerology method, and we can know, like, hey, if it's already near the top, or you can still get in because it might still pump. We do offer some trade calls. We do, well, I do 2 monthly Zoom sessions. So say, like, you know, you want to go over your portfolio, you want to go over a specific coin, you need help with one of your wallets, whether it's a hardware wallet or software wallet. So you get a, you know, again, an edge on the market because you'll have, you know, that backup. But other than that, I will see everybody on the Discord.